Back on the record, all parties are present. Hold off the jury. I'm told the jury has reached a verdict. Before we receive the verdict, particularly in this case, it's imperative that whoever remains here in the courtroom while we receive the verdict remains stoic and does not express himself or herself with joy or sadness or whatever it is, because there's a potential that the case continues, and that would be improperly influencing the case going on. So if you're here, make sure you can contain yourself and do not react whatsoever when the verdict comes in. If you cannot control yourself at this time, please leave, and someone else will tell you what happened. Is everyone clear on that? All right. Let's bring in the jury and we'll receive the verdict. All right, Ms. Bickley, are you the foreperson? Yes. Has the jury reached a verdict? Yes. If you please hand the verdict form to the bailiff, who will hand it to me for review before it's published. The verdict is in proper form. The defendant shall remain standing while the verdict is published through the clerk.
We, the jury, find Jose Soto-Escalera as to count 1, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. If you find a defendant guilty as charged or guilty of any of the above lesser offenses, you must next determine if any of the following has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Check yes if proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Check no if not proven beyond a reasonable doubt. During the commission of the offense, the defendant did carry, display, use, threaten to use, or attempt to use any weapon. Yes. As for count 2, guilty of first-degree murder of an unborn child as charged in the indictment. So say we all. This 19th day of September 2025, four-person Ariel
Bickley.
Bickley.
Please be seated. I will poll the jury. Mr. Montecon, I believe your name is Montecon, right?
Last name.
My last name, have Monte on the sheet here. Mr. Montecon, is this your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Miss John, is this your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Miss Ed, your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Ryan, is this your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Sedan, as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss, your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes.
Mr. Your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Ortiz, your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Meeks, your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss, your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Miss, like your name pronounced, is this your verdict as well as the verdict of the jury as a whole?
Yes, Your Honor.
And
Yes, Your Honor.
the verdict is accepted by the court at this time. And ladies and gentlemen, the procedure that we're going to follow at this time, given your verdict, is we're going to proceed to the second phase of this trial, which is called the penalty phase. We're going to do that on Wednesday of next week. Monday, the lawyers and I are going to be working on the case in court. Tuesday is a court holiday, so we will reconvene Wednesday, the 24th at 8:45 for that proceeding. This is very important, and I've instructed the alternates the same way. They will be reappearing on that day as well. It's very important to follow that rule that I've instructed you on from the beginning of the trial, which is in relation to this case is still pending. There are still issues for you to be involved with and consider, and you should only do that based upon the formal evidence in this trial and nothing else. So you remain under that rule that I've instructed you on previously as far as not talking to anyone outside the jury, and obviously don't continue your deliberations on this case at this time. Even during the second phase of the trial, with regard to that proceeding, you are not allowed to talk to each other about what's going on then as the proceeding commences. You would be able to do that once you start to deliberate at that time. Avoid all media coverage of the case. Don't do any research. So the way I refer to that is keep your mental slate clean so that it does not contain anything other than what we've discussed here on the case. With that, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your Monday and Tuesday off. On Wednesday, you'll report downstairs at 8:45 in the morning, and we'll proceed with the penalty phase of this case. Thank you for your continued service in this case, and the bailiffs will assist you at this time. They will take your notes so that you'll have them when you reconvene. And if they're in the jury room, they'll take possession of that too. So no one outside the jury will read your notes, but they will be there for you. At the end of the case, they will be destroyed. Thank you, and we'll see you on Wednesday. All right, the jury has exited the courtroom at this time. With regard to Wednesday, I've actually prepared some preliminary instructions for Wednesday's purposes, but it's going to need to have input from the lawyers. We could do that now or this afternoon, or we could do that on Monday. Really, it's your choosing. This way you can contemplate what could be in those instructions. The template I use is the standard instruction from the Florida Supreme Court, and obviously there are things to put in there as well. It's really mostly on the state side. It doesn't have entries for mitigators. It just explains the concept of mitigation, but it does have aggravators that the state's going to be relying on. And what's unique about this case is we have two sentences, so it would be broken up as to count one, the state's suggesting these aggravating factors or attempting to prove these, and as to count two, these. So that would be a matter. First, we really should start off with the state to see what they're going to be asking for.
Just so that I will likely be preparing a written list of mitigators, just so I can share it with the state and the court. It doesn't need to be included in any instructions, but
I appreciate that.
That will be prepared, I do think.
Okay. All right. And anything else you want to reconvene on Monday?
Make sure that all the exhibits come back, and then did you print multiple copies of instructions?
Yes.
Is there a master copy that we can make sure goes with the evidence so that we have one?
Just take one of them. They're all the same. So, yes.
Judge, one final thing. Just for housekeeping purposes, I wasn't sure if you had other matters being heard on Monday. Is it okay if we leave all our binders here?
As long as that's okay with the ballots. I don't. It's just this case. So.
I thought so.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see. Let's make sure we get all of the evidence back to the clerk.
Judge, did you want those instructions marked as a court exhibit, or you just want me to put it in it?
Let's mark the court's instructions as court's exhibit. What is it? Three. Yeah. We'll mark them as court's exhibit 3. Okay. All right, so we'll be adjourned until Monday at 8:45, and we'll see